What's going on, guys? It's your boy Lee John, and today we're gonna talk about Kled, the Yordle Rengar baby on cocaine who recently got released onto the PBE servers. And there's not really that much to say about his lore from the stuff Riot released already, so I went on to go compile my own theories so I can give a little bit more background to who Kled is and how he became such a powerful known figure in Noxus. Because right now his bio is as dry as the river he was found fighting on. Okay, so this is going to be a basic rundown on how I'm going to cover Kled. Pause the video, do whatever the hell you want with this picture. Gonna begin in 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's all admit it. Kled is basically Riot's take on a redneck, loudmouth, always feeding his cattle, Scarl. Always riding his tractor, Scarl. And he only cares about his farm, his land. He's very possessive about his lands, and most things he says pertains to his land. In fact, Kled only seems to care about 3 things: Scarl, fighting, and if you're trespassing on my property. This love he has for Scarl is very tight though. He's made wanted posters every time he's gone and always offers him food every time he kills an opponent. Also, Kled's lust for battle is very serious. So serious he never opts to leave a fight, which we're gonna end up bringing up later. Kled is a Yordle born in Bando City, but like most Yordles, he probably migrated to another location. In his case, he migrated to Noxus. Along the way, he found a companion, Scarl, who he probably befriended by offering food. When he got to Noxus, it proved to be a very hostile environment towards him due to the fact that he's a non-human and an immigrant in a nation whose culture prefers humans and native-born. In order to strive in Noxus, he had to prove himself. And how did he do that? The infamous Battle of the River shown in the trailer Riot put out. He probably situated it someplace in Noxus, and after a while, many Noxians grew tired of this foreign Yordle who came and took some of their land and attacked him in forces of hundreds. Even with the odds stacked up against him, he has shown his combat prowess and slain all of them alongside his mount Scarl. This battle gave him the name to be feared in Noxus and put some respect on his name. And this leads to the infamous Battle of the River, known by in Noxus. After this battle, he was probably offered a position in the Noxian military, acquiring several accolades along the way and participating in every single campaign, which is possible because he migrated while the empire was still being founded. Being a foreign and also unliked by the nobles because he takes land, and his way of fighting caused a distrust with him and the higher officials in Noxus. But he was still a legend to the lower ranking Noxian soldiers everywhere. Why did he end up joining the Rift? Probably to get more land, maybe the thrill of battle, maybe Scarl just got hungry, who knows. Now we get to the interesting part. We know that Kled is old as dirt since the Yordle seems to live so long that even Zillion doesn't even understand. And he was there since the founding of Noxus. That leaves a lot of people for him to run into during that time. Katarina's dad was actually a very reputable and famous general back in the day. We all know Talon, a strong thief, and he was targeted by Noxian soldiers, forcing him to either join their ranks or be killed. And what did Talon do? He ended up killing all of them, just like Kled. Except for one, unlike Kled, Talon faced Katarina's dad in a one-on-one duel. I can't really pronounce his name, I'm trying my best. Dukateyo disarmed Talon, seemingly without even breaking a sweat, and later trained him to be what he is today. I believe something similar happened to Kled, where this reputation later interested Dukateyo and got him to join his army, getting all of these ranks and accolades along the way. Maybe he promised him some land or something instead, I don't know. But Kled is a folk hero. Usually folk refers to things of the past. And with the disappearance of Katarina's dad, I also believe Kled disappeared along with him, or maybe just left the military after his general had disappeared. Which is why he remains just a folk hero, and Lee constantly talks about Kled in the past tense. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the hell can this cotton ball possibly have to do with some winged overlord Darkin? Let me explain. Aatrox came in during Trinimir's fight with another tribe, right? Aatrox helped the raiders kill all of Trinimir's tribesmen, and Trindamir tried to retaliate and he hit Aatrox that had no effect, and Aatrox just shoved him aside. And after Aatrox touched him and shoved him aside, Trindamir seemingly gained this rage and he learned never to give up a fight, even if death was on the line. Isn't that strangely similar to Kled? Kled never flees from any battle and shows utmost rage by all the yelling he does in the game every time he attacks.
I'm gonna reach down your throat and turn your lungs into mittens! I'm gonna make you wish you were a hallucination! You think I don't hear you laughing? There's fixing to be two sounds! Me hitting you and...
You might say,
but Johnny, that was in Freylord, not Noxus.
Actually, Aatrox was shown to be talked about in history. In drawings and artifacts Ezreal found while traveling Noxus, he came across these strange drawings of this darkened figure. So Aatrox could have seen the potential in Kled just like Tryndamere and decided to give him some power in some way, having him forcibly sacrifice one eye like he had Tryndamere forcefully sacrifice his whole tribe. Kled could just be naturally gifted fighter, but by the way they made him sound so powerful to have never fled from battle and have acquired all the military ranks possible within the Noxus military, I would definitely have believed that he was granted some extraordinary power to be able to pull all of those stunts off. Kled has shown that he has some knowledge of Sion before he was resurrected, and says he liked him better when he was alive when he kills him in game. Sion probably was in rule around the time where he was just an immigrant fighting to hold land for himself. Not much to say about the personal relationship between them though. There's not much we can really infer, but we can infer that he likes Sion a little bit more than Swain because his quotes killing Sion are a little less insulting than the ones he uses when Swain gets killed. Darius, Swain, and other high-ranked Noxians probably dislike him due to the fact that he isn't natively from Noxus, and the nobles don't really like him because he's taken land and he's also taken other people's belongings. And we know how taking other people's belongings in Noxus usually ends up. We can just look at Talon's story for proof. Kled doesn't really refer to Swain as being the general of Noxus. He uses his title Master Tactician, so maybe Kled has fought in some wars with Swain, or he knew him back in the day when Swain was fighting in the wars before he became the general of Noxus.
Oh my god, he's a Yordle. He has to be related to Teemo. He has to be Teemo's brother or his cousin or...
No!
I don't think he's at all closely related to Teemo. They have no physical resemblance besides being Yordle. The only thing they seem to have in combat is their bloodlust in battle. So Teemo fights like a damn psychopath, but he's still strict on completing his duty and has a warm personality outside of combat, given by the quotes Poppy says, saying he's a great friend. Kled, however, will fight in a war, but he still loves the thrill of battle itself, regardless if it's an order or not. He doesn't really have a warm personality. Kled's loyalty to Noxus is probably not as strong as Teemo's loyal to Bandle City. Basically, the difference is, you tell Teemo to go kill 10 guards, he'll kill 10. You tell Kled to kill 10 guards, he might kill 15, 20, who knows. Teemo has a very strict code. Kled seems to be way more wild than Teemo. For the rest of the Yordles, you can't really bring up a solid case of them being closely related, besides them being Yordle as well. We all know all Yordles are related, but that's not really saying much. Alright guys, don't forget, these are all theories, so don't get too mad at me. When the Kled interactions officially drop and they expand his lore a little bit if they decide to, we'll have a lot more information on Kled and I'll probably make an updated video. But until then, it's been your boy League John, and I'm out.